up?
Stevie Jack.
I haven't even won it yet.
We're doing that.
You gotta,
That's crazy. Alright, let's relax. What's the point? What are you guys on? What's the big... If Celtic drop points overnight, then we win.
I've never heard Tom talk about Rangers until this year.
Same, mate.
Well, it's because I haven't done good till this year.
Well, they're also in the third league for a while.
They got heaps of games.
It's very hard to
We're
find.
going to be together.
G let us slip before in it. That's why he's like the greatest Liverpool captain all the time.
That's why it's not.
Stephen Gerrard.
I'm just ignoring you for a bit.
Stevie G.
Let's kick this off. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. It's Let 'em Shoot TV.
Oh, we're starting.
Culture meets football. Don't matter if your dad's name is Aloha Burner, Don Farnham.
Where does this guy find these
This is the place for you. Today's topic, Australian football landscape. It's a good one, discussion piece. Just going to talk about players that we think had a big influence on Australian football, players that might not have reached their potential, and then some of the up-and-coming rising stars. Before we kick this off, make sure you like, share, subscribe.
Come on.
It's your boy MJ, WAGWAN MJ. To my right.
It's your boy Denai. You already know. Government name.
Whack, bro.
Enough said.
Whack.
Tom McLaughlin, Canberra Zidane.
Pause. Like I said, Canberra's Zidane. In what world?
I'll let it slide. Juju J, aka C Commander. You know what it is.
Sea Commander. Who's next?
You know what it means. I just can't say
Angus
it.
Techers. Star of the show. Let him shoot best. Quickest to 1 million followers.
Currently at 150.
Give us an update.
150,000. Come on, let's go.
Whoa, didn't you say 500 last time?
I don't know. I don't know. Remember. I can't remember.
Seems
though.
like you lost
I
a
can't
couple
remember.
400.
He's buying followers.
I can't remember. Sorry.
Ah, man.
Jerome dot Karloff. I am the owner of Dem Ones TV. It's a podcast. Check it out.
Link below.
AKA Harry Kuehl.
It's Padron with a B. You guys think I forgot? I didn't. Young and upcoming entrepreneur, aka Jeff Bezos, aka Elon.
Man said Elon.
But you know how
Get
it
this.
is.
He's left me hanging. Get that.
Hey,
Production.
that's it.
Chris would never do that to
Alright,
me.
let's go. Let's open up this discussion.
Can I have some water?
Who's the biggest Australian football influencer? A-League?
Pengus Techers.
It has to be.
He's actually...
Jeremy, come on, man. Just
Yeah, well, you know,
just say it.
for me, mainly I went A-League focused. So
It's cool.
you know, the Australian League. I had to go with the legend, the best commentator on Fox Sports, the best Melbourne victory player ever.
Facts.
Murray United former striker.
He's really potted.
Archie Thompson.
Archie Thompson. Archie Thompson.
Archie Thompson is like my favorite Melbourne victory player of all time.
Favorite
Favorite A-League player of
Yeah,
all time, I
same.
reckon.
Same.
Just goals, you know.
When
Funny
Jeremy-
guy.
When Jeremy was about 14, he said, "I'm gonna name my son Archie."
So his real name's Archibald.
Is it? Exactly.
I don't know that for a fact, but I think
But nah, honestly, as a player in the A-League, I think you'd struggle to find more players who've done as much as he has. Goals, championships.
Bro, he's just a personality that they don't have anymore in the A-League. It's Archie Thompson. The rival fans hated him, but he was a cool guy.
He had a mohawk.
You
He
know.
humped the
And for
corner
many
flag.
seasons, he was a level above.
Yeah.
He was too good for the
For
A-League
most seasons, he was a level
lot of
above,
seasons.
and one of the nicest blokes ever.
Yeah.
Was he in the A-League? What?
Funny commentator on Fox Sports.
Hilarious.
Not the most.
Went to Europe as well. Had a stint.
PSV, I think.
Scored the most international goals in a game ever. Is that still standing?
Yes, sir.
Was it against Solomon?
Yeah.
American Samoa.
American Samoa.
East Timor.
Sorry, my bad, guys. Sorry.
Solomon.
Well, how long was he in the league for? The 2005 the inaugural season, or was it
I want to say since
Was it
the
inaugural? I think it was.
inaugural to what? 2015.
Let's look that up, man. Let's get some respect.
2015.
Yeah, no, don't disrespect him. Let's
10
just.
years.
Yeah,
He was
yeah, for a while.
From about maybe I reckon 20. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't inaugural. Maybe second season.
And he's got one of the best commentator names. Like when you score, you know when you celebrate and that.
The grand final where they beat Adelaide. He scored 5. That was probably one of the happiest days of my life.
Bro, what a
Jesus.
day.
My God.
5?
He's doing these.
Fred.
In a final.
Assist.
Fred
Yes,
was
sir.
dominating. Fred was
Archie Thompson, Danny Allsop up top. You knew it was done.
He was doing this.
done.
What's he doing around the keeper?
You got young.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story about Danny Allsop. You
Evan
might like this
Berger.
too. So Danny Allsop gets a Socceroos caller.
Oh, I don't know.
I was in the 17th. We got to go to the game. After the game, we go to the change room. Harry Kuehl's there and that.
Harry Kuehl.
You're your guy. I go to Danny. Oh, can I get your shirt? Nah, man. I don't get many of these. Like, but I'm like a young 15, 16-year-old kid. Give me your shirt, man. Nah, man. Just left me dry. Just turned around and walked away.
What the hell?
Danny
I
also.
was upset, bro. That's sad. I was upset, man.
If you're watching this,
Danny
shame
Allsop.
on you, man.
He's like, I don't get many of
I know
these. I'm
you
like,
are.
yeah, but you already got one. Slide one over.
The best Archie Thompson moment for me personally, I've never celebrated. I don't think I've maybe bar the Drogba header in the Champions League. I've never celebrated a goal this hard in my life. I was at the stadium. Archie Thompson versus Hart.
Fluoro kit or
Fluoro kit.
Yeah.
Last minute or whatever, just lobbed it over the
Yeah, the
keeper.
chip.
Went up to that fat Hart fan
Yeah.
and gave it to him.
Yeah.
Right, I nearly collapsed.
Yeah, no.
I was an active supporter, and I was like, I just lost my mind.
Someone said he's the reason there's no more Melbourne Heart.
Fact.
Honestly, how he didn't win Australian of the Year more times, I have no idea. Not Alex Tobin medal, Australian of the Year. I don't know how he didn't win it more times.
There's no more.
Do we think he could have
a good
played
shout, bud.
a bigger role in like the Australian national team? World Cup?
That's what I was going to ask.
I definitely think
What do you think about his international career?
I think
it's
But the pool of players for his prime.
I think he's like third top scorer for Australia as well.
And 13's enough.
I'm fairly
Well, I
sure
mean,
he's high.
Who are we comparing him to?
He's got 14 in one game. That's more
Yeah,
than
that's
Viduka.
enough. That's you retire.
Who is it? Who are we comparing him against? So
Aloisi.
Dukes.
Aloisi, Josh Kennedy. You're telling me Josh Kennedy can play for Australia? Archie Thompson can't. Little balling behind, nice.
Jesus.
But that's not the way they played. But yeah, they did crosses. Luke
Kennedy
Wiltshire.
was elite in the air.
I wouldn't say elite, but yeah.
What was that game? He scored that header. It was just.
take us to the- not to take us to the
I was
World
on
Cup.
Facebook
Yeah.
and I was like,
Oh,
why have
my
they brought
days.
this guy on?
Jerry
Blah,
said
blah, blah.
goodbye. Our chances of making the World Cup.
And he scored a header and I quickly deleted
He
my
headed it down as well. That was a nice header.
But yeah, Archie Thompson for me, one of the most influential footballers in Australia.
By far, bro.
Throughout my life.
But I mean,
You're a legend,
I
Arch.
mean, if you're talking about influential football in Australia, the most influential player, Tim Cahill.
There we go.
Without a doubt in my
so
mind.
100%.
Of
So
course
safe.
it's safe, but
It's safe.
he's the most influential. When you're a kid, which other people you've seen on TV
Harry Kuehl.
being like, I want to be like him?
Very cool.
Harry Kuehl, yeah.
Legit Archie Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Archie, Harry Kuehl.
I'm telling you, Tim Cahill, around the time of the 2006 World Cup, he scored that first goal.
No,
in
I
the
don't
World
even
Cup.
think we're mentioning him.
He's-
He was coming off the bench at that
Yeah.
World Cup.
I feel like it's Harry
He
Kuehl.
was doing the Wheat Bix ads. He was doing the celebration in the
gets
call
loud,
out.
he gets
Scored
loud,
the
here we
first
go.
goals. Come on, man. Every Australian game.
of course.
You're like, oh, okay,
And he's got a
but-
nice backstory.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice.
That story made me like,
Struggle.
Yeah.
very nice story.
He used to be a hero of mine, and then he came here and just played for the biggest rivals of my team, and then I was like, man, it's calm for you.
Yeah.
But
Can't
he's a
appreciate
legend.
him.
Bro. Cahill gave me some great moments, pause if needed, but he...
That volley at the World Cup.
Oh,
My
man.
God.
Those 2 goals against
He's
Japan.
double against Japan.
Yeah.
He scored a double against Japan.
Just countless headers. Even when he scored a scissor kick against Chelsea for Everton, it was an equaliser.
Yeah.
I was like,
You can't.
When he did this celebration, Far
And
out,
he was in that
man.
Ever team for a long time, starting as well.
Yeah.
I think he's got the best, isn't it, headed goal ratio?
He's got some
Yeah,
records.
it's something
He's scored like
insane.
75% of his goals with
Yeah.
headers.
That makes sense.
I think it's better
He's
than
not,
Cahill.
he's not a big dude either.
No.
Like,
No way.
All the big moments,
Yeah.
it's him.
Yeah, it is.
no, yeah.
A lot of them.
Sure, of course, Cahill was like
Yeah.
a top tier influential person,
But who do you want to go
Safe.
clubbing with,
Of course
Cahill or
it's
Archie?
safe.
You want to go with Archie?
Archie is getting you whatever
Archie
you
can
want.
break dance.
Archie, shout out you, man. I know you've been watching.
Archie, man. Yeah, Arch, man.
He's getting you whatever you want. But yeah, obviously Cahill. Legend.
Big Tim.
Legend. You got no one for
I got
this?
someone. I got some. Mine's a bit like. I'm interested what you guys think of this one. Mine is Sam Kerr.
That's a
Yeah,
good shout.
the impact she's had on the female
Definitely.
game is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
definitely.
Like,
Hey, man, left that way.
She's
like
Chelsea too.
Abramovich,
Yeah.
Chelsea. Abramovich signs her.
When she moved to Chelsea, that was massive.
Massive.
She was one of the first Australian. Was she the first Australian to go over and play in England?
No, I don't think
There's
so.
others been before, but like you look
But-
at her.
Maybe on the salary.
Bro, I saw when I
And
saw
like
her.
the
in-
money she was on.
Yeah.
I
Bro,
think
the
she's
money's
the biggest.
different.
I
Think
saw
about
her
this.
in an ad with Mbappe. I was like, oh
Think
my
about this.
God.
She's in a global ad. Nike launched an ad with her.
She's got her own boot line
Mbappe
as well,
and Ronaldo. They got
Yeah.
their own boot line, the Mercurial Dream Pack.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
them three globally. Like
Jesus.
that's
It's
The thing
wild.
with Sam Kerr is as well, she's like a multi-sport athlete as well.
Yeah.
AFL. She can do it all. Girl from WA.
Celebration's iconic.
Yeah.
I would reckon she's one of the best female strikers in the world.
She's a killer, man. She's one of the best
She hasn't
female players.
reached the heights she should have.
Is that
I
because,
agree.
Is that
Yeah.
because she's played A-League and then doubling up with the US?
I think no. In
I
terms
don't-
of her transfer,
She hasn't
she
been
hasn't
starting
reached the.
recently for
Yeah, she
Chelsea,
hasn't
like,
reached the
Really?
height she should
I thought
have.
She starts here and
No,
there,
no.
but she hasn't been banging as much.
She's not
as
like
she-
the first name in the team,
Yeah.
which I thought she would have moved.
Especially
in
with
there.
the money she's
Maybe
on.
obviously it's adjusting to the league.
I thought she was like the mega signing of the league.
Yeah,
She was, but
so,
the
yeah.
performances haven't.
Anyway,
Obviously,
shout out Sam Kerr.
still
though.
crazy, but
Yeah.
I just think it's incredible
I
to
like
be
that
like
show.
having that
That's
impact
great.
on the female game.
She's
And
rated like
collaborating with,
90-something in FIFA. Imagine that.
collaborations with
two of the biggest players
Mbappe
in the
and
men's game.
Ronaldo. Like
It's huge.
no other no
Yeah.
next
The
man
only
is
other
getting
female
It's a
I can think
big
of is
shout.
Marta, and she's like a world.
Yeah.
She's world known.
She's like
yeah.
people
What's
say
that
the best
American
ever.
rapper? No.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
She's
Megan,
busy.
Yeah, and Alex
Yeah.
Morgan. Obviously.
Alex
Yeah,
Morgan.
yeah.
Alex Morgan is that
Yeah.
goalkeeper?
Nah,
She's like
That's the
The striker. Yeah.
US.
She plays at Tottenham. I
Yeah.
think.
she scored her first goal as a mum.
And I think also,
That's mad.
extending on that, she's done a lot for First Peoples, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Archie Thompson. So I
Yeah.
think in terms of
That's what I was gonna bring.
outside of the game, that's huge. 'cause
Wait,
now
Archie,
she's
Archie
inspiring.
Thompson's not Indigenous.
He's
He's a half Maori, half British, I think.
is he?
Oh really?
I don't think he's Indigenous.
I thought he was-
We'll fact check that, but I don't think
I
he
thought he
is.
was Torres Strait Islander.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Nah,
First
it was
Peoples.
Torres Strait
I think
Islander.
I think it's New Zealand, man.
No, maybe you're right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely.
But
We'll fact
anyway,
check maybe
MJ's
that
point still
assumption.
stands.
We'll get the facts in a bit.
And for the LGBTQ community as well, Sam Kerr
Yeah.
Yeah.
as well.
Shout out
so-
to him.
Definitely.
For me, she's had massive impact on the female game. And
Huge.
I think you got to show props to her because you don't sign for Chelsea with that big money.
No, man.
You get a Nike deal, and then have the impact you have on the whole nation. Like a whole collective of females are playing
Definitely.
football because of this one girl.
Sorry,
So
Archie
it's-
Thompson,
We're
New
back.
Zealand, dad.
Yep.
His mum is from PNG.
PG. Ocean.
Shout out you, Ocean. Shout out you, Chris. Chris, you know who you are, right?
Chris, Tevin, and Ocean.
And Ocean. That's the Bermuda Triangle.
Sorry for the delay. We got back with the facts.
Tevin Ocean. And now Archie Thompson.
Let's go.
Shout out to a good futsal team.
Not with Chris.
No, yeah, I love.
yeah, man.
I love
All
those
facts on
three
Sam
players.
Kerr.
Great shout.
Archie, man, if you ever want to come by, just let me
I
know.
really want Archie Thompson on the pod. So if you want to come here,
Archie.
leave Fox Sports for a little bit. Come here. We've got a place for you
Hey,
right
whatever they're
there.
paying you,
Yeah.
Don't worry, man.
Whatever they're paying you, we won't pay you.
Yeah.
And also, you can say whatever you like. on here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so culture leads
No
football.
bleeps. We don't do bleeps.
Well,
Can I give a special mention to Sir? He should be a Sir. Les Murray.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you why.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace, Les Murray. Okay.
The world
I
game.
hated. I don't want to say hated, but I was not a fan of football prior to 2006.
Really?
Okay, I was all
Crazy
AFL.
shit.
I'd look at everyone that played. I'm like, no, I'm not playing that, man. I play footy, like whatever.
You want to be like Eddie Maguire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has a big Eddie.
Collingwood.
I don't want to be like Eddie Maguire. He's going through some stuff.
He's cancelled.
2006 World Cup comes around. Obviously, Australia does the best they've ever done. Who's the voice? Les Murray. Where do I get my first interaction in terms of the TV and stuff from it? The World Game, Les Murray. Then I start watching Champions League. Where am I watching it? SBS. Who's there? Bright and early every weekday morning? Les Murray.
5 a.m.
That's a SBS guy.
Les Murray is the godfather.
He's an
Immigrant.
big.
Hungarian. He is the godfather of not only SBS, but all of these other presenters that came after him. The Zaliches,
Yeah,
Fozza,
for sure.
all the people on Fox Sports, Slater, me.
There you
Like,
go.
Les Murray was just a professional. He was so softly spoken, but he was captivating. And to do that without yelling and screaming and trying to be over the top like these Mexican commentators and all that, it's a skill. It's a skill. Les Murray was the voice of football in this country. And
Shout out Les.
Absolutely.
Man,
There's
shout out
no
Les
Let 'em
Murray.
shoot probably without Les Murray. There's no.
man, who knows? Like, the
know?
World Game was... I didn't have Foxtel back then. The World Game was
That was the show.
football intake.
Yeah.
There was no Optus Sport.
Yeah, that was
Facts.
So
now
Les
there's just
Murray,
a
man.
bunch of bums on Optus Sport. Shout out you guys, man.
Shout out Les.
He's a vibe.
Tim Sherwood and...
I hate Mark Schwarzer.
Stop.
Nah.
Can't say
Come
that,
on,
bro.
man.
No, you gotta.
He used to play for Chelsea, man. Can't say that.
Go at him, man.
He's young.
Crowd.
Why do you hate Mark Shaw?
It's because he said Rashford's better than Neymar. That's
Because
why he hates
he's
Mark
just...
Schwarzer.
He's dumb. Hey, he works for the FA. He's dumb.
This guy has played like 20 years in the Prem.
So what?
My man said that.
Just because you have a steak for breakfast doesn't mean that you're that guy.
I don't care about him.
What do you hate about him?
He said I eat bacon, eggs, and steak every morning.
What do you not like about him?
His football opinions are terrible.
Yeah, but football wise, what's wrong with him?
His football opinions are terrible. He made some nice saves.
he a
Good
good
for you.
goalkeeper?
He was a great keeper, man.
He's a great
Doesn't mean I like
very
him.
good goalkeeper.
Saying good,
Did he
yeah.
retire?
Doesn't mean I like him.
The Dixie Chicks. Yeah.
He's a
Shit, man.
great footballer.
What team was he at
Before
before
he
Chelsea?
violates again.
Just for the people that don't know, what team was he at before Chelsea?
Fulham.
Fulham and Middlesbrough.
Fulham.
Yeah, so Fulham. Shout out Fulham.
Fulham was beautiful, man.
It was good.
Was he Van der Sar's replacement or before?
For
Which
Van
team?
der Sar at Fulham? Or
No.
Who did Madison go for?
No.
When Van der Sar went to Man United, who did he sign from?
Not Fulham.
Was it a Dutch
I'm not
club?
sure. It was a Dutch club,
Was it a Dutch
surely.
club?
I think it was a Dutch club.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
Production will search it up. don't
Production
worry.
will search it
We'll
up.
get
Hey, production. Yeah, they're on it.
Let's keep this moving. Next one we're going to talk about is players who didn't fulfill their potential. Players who might have been hot for a season and you expected a lot, but didn't quite. What are we saying?
How long do you have? Okay,
Drop one, Jerome.
I need
drop one.
rules though. Are they players that are they from Australia or they've played in the A-League? Like,
No young players though.
Australian influence.
Just quickly before you get to that,
yeah, man.
just got word from production. It was actually Fulham. So deny.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shout out
Thank you,
Fulham.
production as well.
And thank you, production. Well done, man. Continue.
We're talking about heights. Now, I'm not necessarily going to say that these players that I'm going to mention maybe had what it took to get there, but they were on their way, certainly. I got a few, and a lot of them are victory players.
Oh, I've got a victory one. We probably
Marco
have the same.
Rojas.
Oh, it's my first one.
I was
as well.
literally just about to
That's
say
my.
that.
That's my
Right.
one. That's my.
He
biggest
was
one.
like prime Messi at victory. Moved.
Oh, my
Where'd he go?
guy was doing things I haven't seen people do in the A-League.
Yeah.
Never.
He went to
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart.
Groningen.
He went to Stuttgart first.
He stayed Stuttgart though.
Yeah,
And
he was,
he was
Stuttgart.
injured the whole season
Yeah.
though.
I got a few. Can I read them off?
Go for it.
Hey, man, go ahead.
Robbie Cruz.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think
Yeah.
that's his level.
I'm sorry.
But
That
that's
is
what
your
I'm saying.
level,
I don't
Robbie
think-
Cruz. You were good,
But
I
he had a
agree.
chance. He was there
I'm not sure
in
that he-
Germany.
But when he was in his prime for Australia, my guy
As a
was doing
youngster, he was pretty
absolutely
exciting.
He did have a lot of injuries, though.
nothing.
I think that might
He was playing for the Socceroos and he was doing nothing.
But Tom, do you reckon this guy had the potential?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think he was.
I remember, I'm going to touch on this. I remember, like, obviously, we see him play, we say he's a bum, this, down the third. But I actually remember being like, I remember watching him train, like, in with A-League players.
No, man, he had
players.
something.
I think Young Rob because he's good.
He was exciting.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
In the Aussie camp.
I think Young Rob was a good player. I'm saying when he was at his height,
And when they expected him to be that guy for
He
Australia,
wasn't. He really
wasn't.
He couldn't.
didn't do anything.
He vanished.
He did.
Man, there's so
When
many.
the
I
world needed
could
him
literally sit here, and a lot of them are attackers. I could sit here and talk about Matt Leckie. I can sit here and talk about
Yeah.
Definitely, big one.
who
Who's
else?
come out?
Longo.
Luongo, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon.
Ah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Longer.
He definitely
Went to
didn't reach
QPR.
the heights he should have reached.
2015 Asian Cup, he was one of our best players.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And Son was in that tournament.
Yeah.
And he got played at the tournament.
Yeah. And Key.
What happened to Mitch Langerak?
He was so
What
good.
happened to Mitch Langerak?
It's true, Dortmund.
He's still playing.
Yeah, I know, but like he went to Dortmund. Like, well, everyone was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, but he was always their second
He's always going to
keeper.
be number 2.
He was never really pushing to be their first keeper.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think it might have suited him better to go play at a lower club, be a first
And be a
keeper? His
first-
career could have changed.
Similar to Matt Ryan, you think?
Now, Ryan was the first team keeper when he went over there.
Yeah, but like for now, he's playing for Brighton.
No, he's at
Oh,
Arsenal.
he's at Arsenal.
Yeah.
He's at Arsenal.
Unfortunately, but he was at Brighton, a lower team, starting.
Yeah, and he was
He's getting
working
that
out for it.
exposure.
And he
Do you
was
think
the
that could've-
keeper.
And he was
Yeah,
at
that's what I mean,
Basel,
yeah.
right? Before?
Yeah, he was at Basel?
No,
could've worked out
Valencia,
better for
wasn't it?
Langerak.
Valencia, he was
He was at Basel
No,
first.
He was
it Basel?
He went
was at Basel
Central Coast.
first.
Yeah.
It was a Belgian club. I'm
No,
not sure if
it was
Basel.
Genk or Ghent. It was one of
Yeah,
them.
something
Maybe,
like that,
but
yeah.
he went
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
from Central Coast and was unreal.
Yeah.
At Central Coast, he was one of my
And
favorite
because
keepers.
I really liked him because he was an amazing ball playing keeper.
Yeah, he's very good.
So with his feet?
He still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some said he was the Aussie or Australian. What's his name?
Jeff Bezos.
Iker Casillas.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Did they say
I don't
that?
know. Someone said it.
I thought you were going to
walking
make a
by.
joke, but I understand.
No.
what
I
you're
was
saying.
like,
It kind of has a bit of
looks like
correlation.
him. They're
Nah,
same height.
not tall, yeah.
Yeah.
Good with their feet, yeah.
Okay,
And hands.
we'll let it go.
Man, there's so many. Yeah, there's so many.
Didn't reach their potential.
I've got one that's like, for me, I think the biggest one of all, from like the players that were young and then they made that step.
I think I know who this one is.
It's Casper Tafter.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that as well.
Because
Yeah.
for me, like, you don't go from under 17s World Cup, arguably being one of the best players at the World Cup. I think he won the bronze ball.
Yeah.
And then he signs for Benfica. The thing with them is their youth funding went out. I don't remember when, but that's why he ended up leaving. He got released because the youth funding went out. He didn't play Champions League. Came back to Australia, played for Victory, played for Newcastle as well. I remember at
Newcastle, yeah, the gold
he
jerseys.
was butted in Newcastle. I remember talking to him. Did we play against him in Newcastle?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I remember training with my man, and he was doing back heels, and like if it comes off, yeah, it comes off. It looks sick, but dude was losing the ball left, right, and centre. And going from being like the future of Australian football,
Yes, the big
100%.
future.
Yeah.
like massive future. Like he was in the conversation with De Silva, Anderson played for Man United. Like them
Jeremy
right
has a
there.
big problem over here.
say about him?
I think he's a bit of a
My
dickhead,
God,
yes.
this
I
guy's
think
been
he's a
shaking
bit
his
of a
head for
dickhead.
15 minutes straight.
What? He's just a dickhead.
Football wise or
Jeremy's got
Jeremy
personal
knows him personally.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
you guys got beat?
personal drama with him.
Was he a
They got
deacon when you were
personal
there?
dramas.
No,
Nah,
he was
when he was a young, when he was a young
let's
boy.
not go there. Let's not go that direction. Let's not go that direction.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for me, he was just arguably one of the most hyped Australian footballers,
You can get at me in the comments. if you
and
want.
he just didn't. It didn't come out of the
I
side.
agree. I think he was very, very, very promising.
Very
Very
talented.
underwhelming.
Very talented.
very
At a
promising.
young age, he was level.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
What?
Daniel Arzani.
Oh.
Too young.
Still coming
Too
up.
young to say.
Yeah.
He's still
Big
coming up.
injury.
Hold on.
very
Big injury.
He was on the way up as well.
I'm gonna do a forecast.
Let's go.
Okay.
He's coming back to Australia when he's done. That's it. That's it.
I think he's done now.
I don't think he's getting anywhere near a top league.
Why?
I just don't think
not?
he is. No.
He's
I
what?
think he's
21.
exciting.
No.
But I also think
He's got ability.
I also think
got a lot of
everyone
ability.
fell into the trap of
They fell into the
someone
trap, man.
doing amazing in Australia. Like they're a different kind of player. They're
Yeah.
exciting to
Yeah.
watch. Which there's not
And when
really
he came
that many
on and
players.
scored,
Comes on, scores,
made a difference.
Plays for Australia, got the call up early.
Yeah, for
then
the
he
World Cup.
signed for a big team.
Signs for Celtic.
Man City, loaned to Celtic. It's like it's a big thing, but then
It would be a lot. That's the
thing
only
is-
thing is that's why I'm finding it hard to do youngish players.
Yeah.
Because
he's still got
it's a lot.
because he's still very
Yeah.
talented.
Look, something could
And at
happen.
his
But
age, do you expect him to
21.
to just being extremely good.
Only 21. Yeah, exactly.
21.
But he was like so hyped, like around that World Cup.
But was it deserved? I
It
think
was.
so.
I think it was.
Well, I think the hype was because we had no players
I
that
was
were
going to say, I think we needed to reach a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
We-
Australia didn't have
maybe.
a lot.
We didn't have any players.
and that hype helped him.
At the time of the World Cup.
Yeah, okay,
There was
fair
no
enough.
players
But
where
I think he was
If
definitely
they were
one of the
gonna
best
get the
players in the
ball-
A-League at the time.
Yeah.
if they were going to get the ball, take someone on, do something exciting. He was the only player coming up.
He's one of
in
those
Australia
guys
at the
that you
time.
sit on the edge of your seat when he gets the ball, you're like,
Yeah,
you don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
He's someone
Yeah.
you wanted every time you wanted to bring him on. He can make a difference.
See, I think Arzani is sick. I think he was hyped for good measure. I think he deserved the hype.
Yeah,
And I think going
sure.
overseas, getting injured. There's
He was at AIS, right?
big injury.
Yeah, he was.
I remember playing against him.
And he was mad.
He's definitely
he was the
very,
best player
very,
in
He won the
Yeah.
Player of the Year like 2 years in a row.
You could tell this guy
Yeah.
like it was different.
Cool
Yeah,
man
Like
as well.
watching him then.
Yeah.
obviously an injury like an ACL is
At a young age as well.
It's going to be a
But-
lot to come back from. So
Especially when you're like,
He was well around the first team and getting his first in the friendlies, getting his first looks in the squad.
Socceroos, you're saying?
No, for Celtic.
oh, was it?
Can
Well,
I,
yeah, even
yeah.
Socceroos.
I want to pull a bit back on Arzani. I'm going to give him time because I really liked him at the World Cup. I went out on a limb there. Apologies.
It's okay.
But he
all
just,
hey,
you know,
take
it
some
happens.
all right.
apologize, man.
Yeah,
man,
it does.
I've got I've got a take. This is a dude who, when I was playing football for Sydney Olympic, when I was back in Sydney, he was in the year group above, and this guy was nuts. And my take is Bernie Abini.
I was gonna say,
You're saying he didn't reach potential?
Yeah, I think back then,
When was my age?
he was 92. This guy was easily the best forward I'd seen, like in that age group, like
I
back
know what it
then.
is like. I remember so
It was
obviously,
nuts.
He was my intake, and we were going through obviously the youth academy, and then obviously for academy you go to the national team and that. And being honest with you, he wasn't even making the academy team. When we got to about 14, 15, 16, he wasn't making the academy team. There were better players, and obviously national team. He wasn't in the national team setup. He went through the youth system. Obviously, played for Blacktown, dominated for Blacktown, New South Wales, and then he went on to obviously Sydney FC Youth and so on and so forth, and that's where he is today. But like, I know what you're saying. But from the ages of about like 14 to 16, when you were going through that academy, breaking into the youth national team and that, his name was never mentioned. Even in the New South Wales setup, it was never mentioned. I'm not sure if that's because.
Are you saying that to say that?
I don't think he
To
was,
say he's
there was better.
overachieved?
No, there was better players.
In that,
There was
Do you
better
think that
players
his
during that
level
league.
He reached his potential, do you think?
Like his level is just what it is now.
I think he's bounced around from. He's gone to Australia. He went
Had
to
big
China,
injuries.
He
When
had big injuries. He went
he
to
broke
Europe.
on
He was in
scene,
Europe, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was. When
His
he
first
broke
session
on
in
scene,
Europe.
it
Oh
was
my god,
exciting.
I have a
His
really,
first session
really
in
good
Europe
one.
was an injury. Like he
Yeah.
broke his leg first session in
Yeah,
Europe. Then he
I-
went
I
to
remember,
Vancouver
yeah.
in Canada. Then he came back to Australia, I think. And now he's at Western Sydney. I like him as a player.
He was
old
at
is he now?
Sydney
28?
FC.
He's 28, 29.
29 this year.
Right.
he went to Central Coast first.
Can I
think he came
make-
back, yeah.
Can I make up for my Arzani
After we do the bean.
take? Yes. Finish a beanie.
But yeah, I think I think
Shout out to him.
I think like to MJ's point, maybe at a young age.
I think I'm saying when he first broke on, when he was playing really well, and then the injuries came. I think before that, his ceiling was a lot higher than
That's what I
it currently
think.
is.
Yeah.
Because when he broke
Like a
onto
lot
the scene,
higher.
he was like the talk of the A-League.
he broke onto
Yeah,
the
he was the
scene,
next big thing in the A-League.
And isn't it better
when
that
is he
I'll
going?
go on as well, but I just want to. Yeah, alright.
It was when
Sorry,
is he going
continue.
overseas? It wasn't like, will he be able to go? It's
Yeah.
when is this guy
Yeah.
going overseas?
It's like
when
he
is
did-
gonna-
he
They were just
injured.
trying to
Yeah.
hold on to him for as long as
Yeah,
they could.
he
before
did. He got
European club
injured.
Came in. Yeah.
So
But then now it's different watching him play. It's just not the same.
Because I was like, obviously, he's in my age group.
You saw him
Same instant.
grow up.
Yeah, I saw him grow up, right? So I can say that like, as a youth player, he wasn't the level. So when he broke on with with Central Coast, then moved to Sydney. If you think back 5-6 years earlier, you wouldn't expect that. He wasn't in that window, wasn't in that pool. That's not to say that obviously that pool then translates to you playing in the A-League and going overseas, because obviously I'm sitting here, he's sitting over there. But I'm just saying, like, to your point, at a young age, I thought you were talking about like when you were playing with him in Sydney.
Yeah,
not when we start talking about him playing in the A-League and that.
because I didn't see that from when I moved to Canberra, I didn't see that. But growing up playing MPL in Sydney back then, he was easily the best player in that age group. And then so my argument is when he broke onto the A-League scene, like he was exciting. He was mad to watch. Everybody thought this guy's too sick. When's he going to play for the national team? He gets to Europe, gets injured real badly, and then you just don't see that progression.
Dynamic and
I hope
powerful.
Mobile isn't the same.
But
I think
that's the same
Mobile's-
thing.
I think he's having more of an influence than Bernie
Well,
Mobile
Mobile
did.
plays, yeah. He's playing Champions League football.
Champions League.
Starting.
Yeah.
And I think for him, the goal would be to be Australia's best player in the World Cup in that upcoming squad. But if he doesn't reach that, then
What is this? Okay, before I say what I'm about to say, I should have done this research before. This might be the biggest one ever. Not ever, but it's close. Mustafa Amini.
Oh,
Nah,
Yeah.
Musti's levels. Musti
He's
is
good.
good.
Is he
you
though?
can't.
Is he
Yeah,
though?
but is he?
Did he reach?
I know.
I'm telling
They
you.
were telling.
he's
whether
good.
his levels or not. When he was playing in the A-League, and the way they were talking about him and how they were hyping him up, I was on board. I was like,
me
this
too.
guy
I'm telling
is
you,
going to be our
different.
next.
100%.
What's he done in the career?
Iniesta.
This is what he does. So he basically, when we went into institute, he was the year below me. He was in
93.
my institute year.
Yeah.
Jan, was it Jan playing our coach? Yeah, he played him centre back.
Yeah.
The whole institute year.
That's Australia,
But
though.
he made him actually. Musti went into the camp as like an average player. He came out the best player by far. Went into the Central Coast Mariners, killed it in the A-League.
maybe he was just a late
Dortmund was
developer.
in the second team.
He was
Dortmund.
very small
I
as
don't
well
think
when
he
he was
was.
He was always that
He
good.
went
was
to
really
Central Coast
small, yeah.
and
Killed it.
But that's the thing.
I don't
He
think
was
so
in the Dortmund second
No, I don't
team.
think he was a Dortmund player. I think he's maybe.
But since then, has he fulfilled his
No.
potential?
He's back in Australia now. He's injured right now. He's had surgery.
No. But
When did
the
he play
time in
in
between
Prague?
now and
Yeah.
Dortmund,
Danish-
that's
He's
a
playing
long
in
time.
He's playing in Danish. He's
Because
playing
he's 28 now.
Or didn't he play in the Danish second league?
No, first league.
First league.
And
And he said he
That is not the level.
But you look at him, how many? You don't know how many
No, but who?
Socceroos caps he has.
No one
Yeah.
could tell
You don't know
No.
You don't know.
what he's done. Like
You couldn't.
I
you
think
couldn't
any
map out his
that
career.
alone has indicated he hasn't reached his
Especially watching
potential.
him being like, this
So
guy
what-
can be an
what was his
actual world
potential?
talent.
What's his potential? What's his target?
Mustafa Amini, for me, potential was to play at a decent club in one of Europe's big leagues.
And
I thought it
on
was.
top of that,
Yeah.
he should be one of the first names in the Socceroos squad.
Always.
On
Yes.
talent
But he-
alone.
he just
What
wasn't.
position do you
Not
think he
not
plays?
first, but
DM.
one of them.
I thought he
DM.
played centre
I
mid.
thought he was an. I thought he was an
He's
attacker.
I was going to say an 8. I would
Yeah,
say
I
an
was going to
8.
say centre mid.
Yeah, so we don't even know.
Attacking midfielder.
Doesn't that say something that
We
none
don't
of
even
us
know what
can?
position he's
Think about it. So, for as an
Yeah,
attacking
position he
midfielder
plays.
or as a central midfielder, who do we have playing in the Socceroos now?
That's exactly my point.
Well, you got Asmoy, who I think
You got
should be-
Rogic. You got
Rogic, then
Malongo.
He was
No, but them two
Jackson
have been in and
Irvine.
out.
Jackson Irvine.
The team hasn't stayed the same. There's been a
hasn't.
lot of
It really
players that have
hasn't.
come through the Socceroos lineup that haven't always
the
been
level
there.
that we always
Which
thought he would
means
be.
there was a time for him to cement a spot.
Definitely.
Or
Yeah.
I haven't seen him play for the Socceroos for maybe.
Between
honestly don't
2010 to
remember seeing him at all.
2018, like I can't even remember seeing him play for the Socceroos.
Bro, between
Nah, me either.
2011 and 2015, he made 0 appearances for the first team of Dortmund, 0,
Yeah.
and he made 57 with 3 goals for the seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
3
then,
years.
Then Randers, then
5 years.
Aarhus, or however you pronounce it.
What league?
They
Denmark?
were both in the Danish, I believe.
So what is he doing now? What?
He's back in Sydney. He's had surgery.
So is he
He
gonna
came back
play?
in Sydney like
Is he
last
with
month.
no club?
He's with no club at the minute, so he's back in Sydney on
So
surgery.
what's this? Is this what is this? Explain to me. You guys play and have played in top leagues. Why is it that all the time when a star from Australia goes overseas, they have a almost career-ending injury, and then they end up coming back to Australia and being crap?
I don't think
it's
No
just
idea.
conditioning. Bad luck.
Yeah.
And confidence. I think their confidence
to be
goes
bad
down.
Think of how many
Don't
times
know,
it's
man.
happened
You
to
can probably speak on it more than
Yeah, definitely.
anyone.
Hey man, it's happened to you. I got some friends that it's happened to, but like
Am I
they've got
talking
injured
out
and
of
they've
my
come
arse,
back. No,
or-
it's happened. Like
It happens,
we
it
know a
happens.
player. It happened to Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi.
Kofi went overseas. He was arguably one of the brightest stars in Australian football.
100%.
At a young age.
Shout out to you, Kofi, man.
And
I'll see you at training, alright?
Yeah.
He went to Belgium. Is it Belgium? He went to Belgium.
Yeah, he
and
did.
He did his knee for the second time. Dude was levels. He's got the most caps.
He was incredible.
And he played for 2 under-17 World Cups. No, 220 World Cups.
Pace, power, could finish.
Ridiculous. So it happened to him. He got injured, came back.
I don't know.
Brisbane
Yeah.
didn't treat him that well.
Oh, they should
Brisbane
have.
didn't treat him that well.
I've got
Musti's come back. Like his bullet came
he had a
back.
bad
I've got
time at
one
Brisbane,
more
didn't
obvious
he?
one that is to do with injuries to why he didn't reach his
I've got
potential.
another one.
I've got one
And
as
it's
well, yeah.
obvious, but I feel as though Tom Rogic
For sure.
could have been Like
Another
should
one-
have been
incredible.
Where you say
at the very minimum a Prem player. And this isn't because I'm not saying sitting here saying he hasn't had a good career because he plays for the biggest
He won like 9 leagues in a row.
in Scotland, in the UK.
career.
Like that's
Yeah, he
one of the
has.
biggest teams. The career is good, but me saying he hasn't reached his potential isn't me saying he's a bad footballer.
He's just been
He could have been even better.
There's a player who arguably
He's
was
getting
bigger
challenged in
than
the Champions League.
Is Tom?
How many
If
years
he's
have they
playing
played
at
Champions
Celtic,
League?
he's winning the Champions League. Which we're not Champions
This
League.
is yeah. Go.
Winning the championship.
I'll
year in,
answer
year out,
what you're
apart
about
from
to
this
say.
season.
Playing
If
Champions
he's
League.
playing for the best team in Celtic,
I've got a perfect answer for you.
This season,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Right. And he's had interest from EPL clubs.
Yeah.
Obviously, the money might not be right, so it hasn't happened. But are we going to say that we're going to fault him for not going to the?
I'm not
Prem?
faulting him for not going to Prem. I'm saying his potential is here, and I think he's cruised at around here.
Yeah,
But I think that's
agree.
due to injuries as
No,
well.
I'm saying injuries.
I don't think you can say.
Well,
cruise.
I'm saying he's sat at here. He
didn't
hasn't
go to-
excelled.
Everyone thought
more.
Celtic, then after Celtic, somewhere big.
In glimpses,
Somewhere in
he has
England,
been one of the best players I've seen for the Socceroos.
But do you think
In
that?
glimpses.
Do you
been
think
Do you
that?
think he's consistently been the Socceroos one of the Socceroos' best players?
No,
I don't
Nah, he
agree.
hasn't.
not consistently.
Technical ability.
like ability-wise.
He's the best technically.
He's the best.
Yeah.
The best
In
Definitely,
Australia,
for sure.
Best for a
Definitely.
long
And
time.
I've watched him
Yeah.
from when he was 16, 17
And ANU
to
days.
27
Yeah.
now, and I still believe that technically he can match it with so many
Like,
players
the best
who are
in the
playing at
world,
top
man.
level. But maybe due to injuries, maybe due to I don't know if he's comfortable at Celtic, it's a good life, blah blah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I feel as though he could have reached
His
the potential
potential
which
is
he
way
didn't,
higher.
which he
Yeah.
hasn't
So
reached.
what's this potential you see? Because
I think he could have
Celtic
played
is a
at a
big
lower
European
team in
club.
the Prem.
I'm
For sure.
Okay.
Celtic are a massive
Are
club.
we discrediting the
Celtic are a massive club. They're a
Is it
big
the league?
fish.
We're
in a-
discrrediting
they're a
the
big
league, I
fish in a
think.
small
League?
pond.
Not the club. Because Celtic are massive.
Okay.
But it's also me saying he can play for higher than Celtic shouldn't be a diss.
It's
No, it's not a diss. I'm talking
Yeah.
It's not a diss.
It's me saying
I
that
hear you,
I
I hear
believe
you.
he's
But
better
do you think the
than the
situation,
level he's
Are you
playing
saying the
at.
situation is better if you go to, let's say, the team going 10th in the Premier League or playing Champions League with Celtic? Do you think the situation?
Well, regardless, I don't think in for Celtic he's been their best player week
true.
in week
It's
out.
true. Yeah.
Because there's so many times where I've watched like games to only watch him and he hasn't been in the squad, or he's
Yeah.
been on the bench for Champions League games, or he's played,
definitely
come off
very
the bench, but
injury-prone.
I'm confused why he's not starting. Maybe it's injuries, maybe it's whatever.
Yeah.
Do you guys think he
Yeah.
has like one more big move in him, or
He's 28. He's 29
he's
this
gonna
year.
stay here?
Not sure.
I think
it's hard to
he
say.
should try and
His
get
contract-
back into the World Cup squad.
His contract
100%.
is.
Yeah.
I
He
think
has
that
to
should
be
his
one of the
goal.
best players for Australia at the next World Cup. He
Yeah.
has to be.
He should
Yeah.
be out. Like,
And he
one
has
of
the
our top
capability
players.
to be as well.
Yeah.
Exactly, I agree.
For sure.
Like, he's not old, so like.
And he's a big game player.
This
He
next-
scored in Scottish
yeah.
Cup finals,
This next World
Old
Cup
Firm
should be-
derbies.
Let's not get this mixed up. Me saying I think he's overrated or anything like that. I think he is mad, levels above, and I think he should be playing at an
100%.
even higher level than he is.
It's not a diss. Like, it's just that, like I said, Celtic is, whether people want to say, oh, it hasn't been a challenge.
Yeah, and I think he could have.
yeah.
He could have.
Yeah.
I was saying two players that we don't have to have a convo on them, but Eric Pardew.
Sheesh. I didn't even think of that.
Eric Pardew, and then in terms of one of the quickest rises I've ever seen, and then I don't want to call it a complete fall, but he's come back down a few pegs. Is Andrew Naboo. He went from he dropped from victory to starting at the World Cup.
It was pretty cool.
crazy.
His
Yeah.
rise was pretty cool.
True.
Because
He was effective at the World Cup.
He was
like
A-League
one of
then
our
MPL,
players.
right?
Yes,
A-League, MPL,
I think
back
so.
to A-League, then World
I
Cup.
think so.
Because he
Maybe.
had an injury in
Yeah.
between the
No,
A-League
he
and
went overseas, didn't he?
He went.
Then came back to
Orwell Red
Yeah, yeah.
Diamonds.
Then he came back to A-League.
Yeah.
And then he went.
Now he's
Yeah.
back at. Is he in Newcastle? He's in
Yeah,
Melbourne now. He's in Melbourne.
No, he's not at Melbourne.
Melbourne City.
Melbourne City.
Jeez.
Not hard, right? Archie got rid of him.
Melbourne City.
Okay.
Melbourne City. Because him and Jamie McLaren are doing. He's just come back from injury, and he's doing all right now.
All right, let's talk about some rising stars in Australian football. I'll kick this off. Jacob Italiano, Mönchengladbach,
AIS boy.
AIS boy. We played against him at Gunners or Olympic.
Nah, Limbic.
Olympic, I think. It was.
Yeah.
This guy was hard.
Yeah.
He did bits in the A-League his first year. I think he's super talented, like extremely technical, very quick, and he's got the attributes to be a very good
Definitely.
player.
I think he's doing everything right. I think Gladbach's a good move for him as well.
Yeah.
He's been included in their 25-man squad for
Yeah.
pre-season games,
Yeah,
and
and
he's
it's
played.
a good club. They're not one of the top clubs.
Yeah, like
But
it's a good
they're
move.
in the Champions League. They're doing well.
They'll always be.
There's no huge expectation.
100%, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
You'll get minutes.
they're
Like
maybe
in
the
the next
fifth
year.
biggest team in Germany.
I think my one is the biggest youngster, like the best rising star in Australia, and it's Mohamed Turay. In my opinion, 16 years old.
Wow.
Strength of a grown man, ability of a grown man, bossing people on the field, playing against A-League veterans, scoring goals.
Shout out you, man.
Yeah, my God.
Come on the pod, man.
I love
Yeah, come on the podcast.
Yeah,
Hey,
literally.
man.
You,
There's
your
a
brother.
star.
We'll get tickets
other
for you
brother.
from Adelaide. Don't worry.
Yeah, Al Hassan,
Yeah, Al Hassan.
Plugs in there.
even the younger brother.
Yeah, he's like, I think he plays on the lead as well.
Yeah, he does.
No, he's a baller. Like, he's 16.
I don't understand Adelaide.
nuts.
I don't understand
Like,
Adelaide.
he's not 18, 19.
No,
He's
16.
You're a child.
He's in, I think, 2004.
2008.
And
There's more. That's a compound sentence. He's not even phased by, like, I don't think
At
he
all.
realizes what he's doing at his age.
Yeah.
And
facts.
when I watch the Adelaide games and they're both on the bench or like their lineup just looks so flat.
Who's the midfielder I like for
Adelaide?
Melbourne City?
Nah, he's in Newcastle
I think. No. He plays for like Olyroos.
Metcalf?
Connor Metcalf. Is that him?
I think so.
Yeah.
Actually, I almost remember signed him.
He's
for my old job.
a good player.
He
Connor
was
Metcalf.
at Western United.
He's like a DM, right? Centre mid.
Centre mid,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He was very
Nah,
good.
he's good.
He's good
He's
to watch.
tidy,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he
very
works
tidy.
hard.
Oh, and Dorigo.
Yeah, Adelaide.
Yeah, he's good.
Hey, I
No,
guess. Same,
yeah,
used to
very
say he take as Italiano.
We played against him at
Very calm
Olympic.
player, man.
Yeah.
Very,
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
He looks
He used to
really
take like
good
all
out
set
there.
pieces.
Yeah.
Scored his
he's very
first
good.
goal. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, he's good.
And he's always starting now.
always.
Yeah.
The
He starts
last 2
every
years,
game.
always starting.
Yeah. He's
Shout out.
I'm going to keep it a buck. I've stopped watching the A-League because it's literally a joke. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me say why. I'm not.
Jerome, man.
Hold on.
this episode.
Hold on. Let me say why. I'm not talking about the players. Okay, because the players, bro, the players are doing their thing. But I'm talking about, and this, I know it's not exactly rising stars, but it really hinders rising stars. When you have a bad football culture, it hinders rising stars.
You can finish. Continue.
The way that the culture of the A-League has died down is not doing any favours for young players coming through.
Has it ever been?
I was going to say, I do agree.
Man, when we get
to some
50,000 for a
extent.
derby, it's different gravy.
I agree to some extent, but I
That's
also think that there are more young players in the A-League now than there were when
That's my point.
That's a big
I don't
So I
want to
think
be watching.
yes and no, because I think
I don't want to be watching 39-year-old Emil Heskey in the A-League.
yeah,
When I can see-
I much
when I can see
prefer
young
like
players.
a lot of young players playing right now, but the A-League when I think it was at its best, there wasn't this many young players.
There
So I don't
wasn't.
know if it's
And that's why when a young
Yeah,
player
I'd
did
have to
break
agree.
on,
I'd have to
like
agree
Tom
with that.
Rodgick and players like that, it was such a big deal.
And like
Because,
Kofi came through, that's why it was such a big deal.
yeah,
Yeah,
for young
true.
players, you had to be levels to play.
and I think that's NPL now to a certain extent.
Yeah,
Like
the
it,
same.
it replicates A-League.
Yeah, it's a trickle down effect.
100%.
NPL now.
When I was like 16, 17, like there was maybe like 5-6 players who were like young playing first team NPL. Now every team has maybe 5-6
Yeah.
18, 19-year-olds
Yeah.
like playing every day.
We broke into his NPL league. Like, obviously, we're a young squad, but you look at other leagues, we're playing against grown men.
Yeah. And it was a big deal to be 20 and playing playing NPL.
Yeah, 20 even. Like 2021 you were young.
Yeah.
Now 2021 in NPL you're like just a normal player.
So, I agree with most of your points, but are you telling me that, let's take away age, because I know we're talking about rising stars, so it's a bit of redundant, but you're saying now that the A-League is nice to watch?
No.
No.
The A-League annoys me a lot, but I prefer watching young players who can potentially do
Than
something.
just
than
recycling
watching
the same
recycled
old
A-League
players.
players that
Yeah.
they just have always played in. They just
I don't wanna
go
watch
from
Matt
team to team to team.
Simon.
Yeah, like
Man
who's
said
like Scott Neville. Like,
Simpson.
like
It's just the
there's
same.
a lot of
I don't watch the
recycling
same
in
players
A-League.
every year. Like,
Which is
I
my-
don't want to see you play for all the teams. That's not an
Yeah.
achievement. It's not Pokemon.
But then again, I also think that I'm all for giving youngsters a chance, but then again, you're like, I look at Victory at the moment, and they've brought in a lot of young players to play, and we are doing absolutely
The coach needs to go first of all.
horribly.
The board is not good at victory.
Just
and
because
the
they're
coach is not
young,
good.
I don't necessarily mean they should get a chance.
Which is that's what my point was. So like I don't really.
It's the pro league of the country.
Yeah,
man.
so it has to be a balance between breaking young players and them being given the opportunity and being a competitive league.
I feel like they've gone from one extreme to the other. Almost.
I agree.
What would you prefer? What it used to be, or would you prefer now?
What would I prefer? What it used to be, man.
I think
As a fan, probably what it used to be.
As a fan, man, I was as a fan, not talking about like for the quality of like I don't know
Development,
growth and all that. As a fan, I was in stadiums with 30 to 50,000 sometimes, packed. I was watching it was decent football. I used to defend the A-League. Like I was like, okay, some of these goals I'm seeing, some of these players, a lot of them are like, okay, in their twilight of the career or whatever. But as a fan, I got excited to go to A-League games. It's the pro league of the country.
I used to love Western Sydney.
I'm
drawn.
But there's got to be a point where you
But I
can't
think
just
as a
have these
player-
old dudes coming and playing.
As a player, like being a player, definitely what it is now, especially when you're growing up and you're seeing the same players being recycled, playing it for one team, playing for another team, and then other players not getting opportunities. Now, when you see people actually getting opportunities, it's exciting, and I like seeing that. So that's why I like watching it.
And I think there's like if they do choose to just continue with like sort of the more young like
Development.
crop of talent, by like developing them and moving them on, they're going to bring in more money so that they can improve their squad.
And the Socceroos teams are going to be better.
Whereas the other way, the A-League, yes, was more entertaining, but the Australian national team was slowly getting worse.
Oh, it
because
did.
there was nobody playing in the A-League.
Yeah, exactly. I want to
True.
bring that up. A lot of players, when in Australia's golden era, they weren't actually playing in the A-League.
of them, no.
So the A-League might have felt better to watch as a fan, but in terms of like the progression, it had nothing to do with Australian football. Almost.
Wouldn't
in my
that be?
opinion.
So you're saying like you want these players to develop and then move to Europe, but then they wouldn't be playing A-League anyway.
But I prefer that because for me, I like watching the A-League to watch young, good players. Like, I don't care about watching the A-League for, like, the competitive thing.
That's
I
fair.
get that from other leagues.
Yeah.
Like, I just like watching
Young
players who are close to where I actually live, who are good, young.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
that's fair enough.
you're gonna see more of like the younger players want to play in A-League
Because they have a chance.
like if you see a young player
attainable.
now go overseas and you're a young player, you're gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
let me play here.
Do we think that some
Yeah.
young players now that potentially have the potential to go and play in Europe at a young age are now settling for the A-League and now just playing
Well, that's the
professionally
thing,
in
man. It's
Australia?
like because the level is go MJ. I'm sorry, man. Go. Because the level isn't as high as it was in the A-League. Then comes the thing of yes, they're getting a chance. Yes, it's nice to see young players that some of you boys even know or played with when you were younger getting a chance. But then the bar drops.
Definitely.
So then that also affects like kids coming up. Like I can be okay and make the pro league of the country.
I don't know, though.
I don't think it's like that.
I don't think so, and I think now you probably have a bigger chance to go to Europe now because one, younger players, the standard overall might not be as good, but I think if you're young and you're playing in a professional league,
opportunity.
clubs around the world they don't have that visibility to be like, how good is the A-League actually? They just look, he's a professional, he's 18. Yo, this guy could be decent. They watch one game, he looks sharp.
And the same things that happened
come on,
last night. It was
Azani.
something different.
We had Moy.
We're seeing way more young players now go to Europe than we probably
James
ever did from the
Vitale,
A-League.
yeah.
Whereas before it was they were young going to Europe, young, and then
Making
from there,
teams in those
making
countries.
teams.
Yeah.
They were
Whereas
barely
now,
playing.
Now there's more of a progression.
They were
from the
barely
A-League.
playing a season here. It was like 15 games and then they're off. They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
So you think the European clubs just don't look too much into how good the quality is? They just think, oh, pro league.
I think
It's a generalization, but I think generally they're not watching the A-League in such a detailed manner. They're saying, this guy looks very good, he's able to play in a professional league, let's give him a chance. So we're seeing that progression, whereas
maybe,
we might not have before, because it was that straight jump.
Because there was no players going from A-League to Europe.
It was
before.
just, they were in Europe.
You're in European academies already.
I can think of like maybe 5 in maybe the last, like from 10 to 15.
Yeah.
I can think of 5 players.
And you're saying there's an
There's more now.
Many,
There's more now, I think.
There's definitely more now. Like you think
But
about
what's the
this.
level of these players though?
You think about,
Well, like even just Italiano, Mobile.
Yeah.
I got a shout out actually.
But but when I say now, like how long ago did Mobile move over?
Like 2.5 years
What
ago.
about Lachlan Brooks?
Yeah, shout out Lachlan Brooks. He's
Yeah.
over at Brentford now.
Yeah.
B team. Base.
He went from
Adelaide
AIS
United.
to Adelaide
Yeah.
to
Okay, fair.
The ex-Celtic boy that you.
George Timoteo, who went to Schalke,
Yes.
and Belgian League. Like this is
Yeah,
fairly
right.
recent.
So
Barzani.
for me, it's
Even
probably
the
better
Edinburgh went from
from an
Celtic
A-League
guys.
perspective.
Who did Timoteo play for in the A-League?
Sydney FC.
he went Sydney, then NPL, then Schalke.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Sydney
NPL to
Olympic?
Schalke.
He went Sydney Olympic, I think.
Yeah, Sydney
Sydney
Olympic to
Olympic to
Schalke, then a team in Belgium.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess they're good points. Yeah.
I think I do agree that in terms of bringing fans in,
Yeah,
bringing
absolutely.
excitement,
I
engagement,
agree with that
it's
point.
definitely
100%.
it's definitely not the same level.
Look, I know
it
I
was.
went a bit on it. Well, you're talking about rising stars, and I'm talking about fans and atmosphere. I know it's a different thing, but I think little bit by little bit, it all plays into because it looks more attractive when the stadiums. I don't know.
Definitely,
Like, it just,
honestly,
That's why I think they need to find a better balance.
Yeah.
And maybe that comes from.
Also, get smaller stadiums.
Yeah.
I'm sick
I'm
of these.
sorry, crowd. Let me address the crowd real quick. Crowd. Camera two. Camera two.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of Australian football using multi-purpose grounds. Nobody wants to go sit in a cricket ground and watch football
You tell them.
400 meters away.
I want to watch
Thank
Big
you.
Bash
Best
Instagram, am I right?
In a
$800
rectangle stadium,
scorches.
like every other league in the world.
Just get
You
everyone
can
and
still
make
see the stadium smaller, please.
Everyone get an
No
Adelaide United
stadium, no stadium in the A-League needs to be more than 15,000.
It does
Supply and
not
demand.
one.
Not one.
Supply and
That's a big-
demand.
that's a big
Make your product.
So fill that shit up. Let me watch
Exactly.
Bro,
Make the
Make
product.
people want to
Make
buy
people-
those tickets.
yeah, make people want to come.
15,000 get in. I
Exactly.
want those tickets. There'll be
Bro,
more season tickets. There'll
I'm
be more
tired of
fucking.
seeing teams play at the MCG.
Yeah.
400 meters away.
What's the one in Melbourne? Is it? Yeah,
Marvel? Nah, that's not it. That's not
Did
it.
it change?
50,000 for 8,000.
Suncorp
you should not
they're
be
jumping
playing-
the borders and then there's no one in the stands.
Nah.
Who are they celebrating?
Crowd, A-League, do your thing, man. Come on,
Fix
fix this up.
that.
Does Perth play the Wacker?
Stadium.
Let's have a good stadium.
Yes,
Wait a
a relegation
It's up to
and
stadium.
promotion system going.
Definitely.
I think that's in
They're
the.
talking
it's
about
in
it.
the, yeah, it's in the
Then
works.
you'll
we need to
see
get
more-
back. We need to
then
get
you'll
back.
see more young
We need to get
players
back
like
on track.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, who has another shout for a
Is
young
that
star?
it? Are we good?
That's it, man.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. Australian football landscape. Tell us what you think in the comments.
Don't kill me, guys, please.
Let us know what
Hey,
you think
make sure-
about it.
I'm not happy with my Arzani take. Whatever, man. Haven't slept.
It's Let Him Shoot. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
This is the best duo,
But-
I think.
Yeah, let's move.
You're gonna have to mute my A-League is trash take, huh? He's going straight up. You guys trying to get that A-League, mass for A-League.
What do you honestly reckon?